So students, in this lecture we will discuss characteristics of chemical equilibrium. This will be lecture 2 of chemical equilibrium. First lecture was introductory part. Let us see what are the common characteristics and important characteristics of chemical equilibrium. Now our first characteristic of chemical equilibrium is, we have seen it in the last lecture, that equilibrium can be observed only for reversible reactions in a closed container. Means equilibrium stage can be obtained. Equilibrium, chemical equilibrium can be obtained. I may write over here, chemical equilibrium can be obtained, can be achieved in reversible reactions. The necessary condition is that the process should be reversible. In reversible processes, and that too in a closed container, that too in a closed vessel, that too in a closed vessel. Now this is the first condition, first characteristic of our chemical equilibrium. What is this? What does this mean? Our chemical equilibrium can be achieved only in reversible reactions and when they are carried out in closed vessel. A question can be framed from this characteristic like this: which of the following question number 1 can be formed like this. That will be conceptual question. For which of the following given, I will give here certain reactions. You have to say in which of the following equilibrium can be achieved. Now let us take equation, for example, combustion reaction number first. Combustion of methane. Now number second, I will take neutralization of reaction is not given. You have to identify the reaction. Neutralization of strong acid and a strong base. For example, neutralization of HCl and KOH, strong acid and strong base. Number third is precipitation reaction, PPT reaction, precipitation reaction. And number fourth option is conversion of carbon graphite, that's allotropic form, into carbon diamond. Conversion of carbon graphite into other allotropic form, that is carbon diamond. Now you have to identify which of these reactions in which of these reactions we can achieve equilibrium. Since equilibrium can be achieved only in reversible reactions, all combustion reactions, they are irreversible, therefore equilibrium cannot be achieved over here. Or neutralization reactions of strong acid and strong bases, they are irreversible. All precipitation reactions, they are irreversible. But all allotropic forms, when they change from one form to another form, they are reversible in nature. Therefore in our option 4 we can achieve chemical equilibrium. Therefore from this characteristic we can solve these type of questions. This is first question: chemical equilibrium can be achieved in reversible process, and that too in a closed container. We can have here one more conceptual question. This is question number 1. We can have one more conceptual question like this. Now I have given here 4 vessels. This is vessel number 1, and this is vessel number 2, and this is experiment number 3, and this is experiment number 4. Now this is experiment number A, this is experiment number B, this is C, and this is D. Now see, in this experiment we are reacting calcium carbonate with calcium carbonate. We are decomposing this calcium carbonate into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Now in this reaction, in this vessel, we are closing this vessel and we are carrying out the same reaction, that is decomposition of calcium carbonate to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. And in this reaction we are carrying out the reaction in an open. This reaction is combustion of carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. And this reaction is carried out in closed container. It's also a combustion reaction. Carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. Now you have to tell in which of the following A, B, C, D you can obtain an equilibrium reaction. Now, which of these will follow? Which of these will be, in which of these equilibrium can be attained? Now see, equilibrium is attained in a closed vessel. This is an open vessel, therefore A is not our option. Equilibrium can be obtained in a closed vessel. This is an open vessel, this is not option. Therefore, our option might be B or C. Now, out of B and D, out of B and D, D is what? D is an exothermic process. Therefore, exothermic processes are not reversible process. Therefore, only option we are left with, that's option B. This is first characteristic of chemical equilibrium, and these are the two possible questions which can be asked in your competitive exam from this characteristic. Now, number second characteristic of chemical equilibrium is, I may rub it out. Now, second characteristic is equilibrium can be had. Equilibrium can be had means can be achieved from either side of a reaction. From either side of a reaction means, that is, if you start with a reactant, that's if we start with reactant, we can obtain equilibrium. Equilibrium can be obtained. Equilibrium can be obtained, can be achieved. And if we start with products, then equilibrium can also be obtained. Then equilibrium can also be achieved. Now see, what does this mean? Equilibrium can be achieved from either side of a chemical reaction. Let us consider a chemical reaction. For example, let us consider a reaction decomposition of PCl5. PCl5 decomposes to give PCl3 plus Cl2, or decomposition of ammonia, or any other reversible process. Now see, if we start from PCl5, start means at time t is equal to 0, we have only PCl5 in the reaction vessel, then there will be concentration of PCl5, but this thing will not be there. Once the reaction starts, conversion of this PCl5, it starts converting into PCl3 and Cl2. I can obtain the chemical equilibrium if I start from these reactant molecules to form product, or I can obtain the equilibrium in the reverse process, means I can start it from PCl3 plus Cl2 and we can get PCl5, means it can be achieved in both directions, in forward direction as well as in backward direction. We can have equilibrium from this direction, we can have equilibrium from this direction. See, first what happens, some of its concentration gets converted into products, and some of that concentration then starts converting back into products. A stage is reached at which the rate of this becomes equal to this. At that stage, we can have equilibrium either from this side or from, we can achieve equilibrium by writing forward direction or by writing first backward direction. That's equilibrium can be had from either side of the reaction, means if we start with the reactants, we can have equilibrium, and if we start with the products, we can have equilibrium. That is, if we start with the reactants, I am starting from reactants, I get an equilibrium stage, and if we start with the products, then equilibrium can also be attained. Now, number third characteristic. These are two characteristics. Number third characteristic. This is very important topic. Number third characteristic is at equilibrium stage, the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. The rate of backward reaction. The rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. At equilibrium condition, the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. Now what does this mean? Let us understand the term what is rate. Now what is rate? Rate is change in concentration. Change in concentration with respect to time. Means if we pass certain time, after a certain time is passed, there occurs change in concentration. For example, if I have a reaction A gives B. Now see, if at time t is equal to 0, I have only A over there. For example, the concentration of A is, for example, 1 molar. Now once I start reacting this, after a certain time, that is t seconds, some amount of A gets converted into B. Let the amount that gets decomposed from A is X. Therefore, what remains over here? 1 minus X. And this X has been lost by this molecule, and it will be the concentration of B. This is formed over here. Now see, rate is then equal to change in concentration of A with respect to time, or change in concentration of B with respect to time. Since concentration of A gets decreased and concentration of B gets increased, therefore it is decrease in concentration of reactant or increase in concentration of product. If we start with the reactant, then it is decrease in the concentration of reactant. If we write rate for B, it will be increase in the concentration of product. Now what happens at equilibrium state? The rate of forward reaction, means the speed with which the reaction takes place, becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. Now see, consider a reaction. Let us consider this reaction. For example, let's consider the same reaction. PCl5 decomposes to give PCl3 plus Cl2. Now see what happens in this case. At time t is equal to 0, let the concentration of PCl5, let it was C, and the concentration of PCl3, it's not formed when the time is 0. Now after a certain amount of time t is equal to t seconds, now what happens? A small part of C gets decomposed. Let X is the amount that is decomposed from C. Now what remains over here? Then it remains C minus X. And this X has been decomposed. It is formed over here. That's X. That's X. Now see what happens in the forward reaction. Concentration of PCl5 has decomposed. Now see, once this product starts forming, it may convert back. Since the process is reversible, they may combine together. They may form PCl5 back. The rate, the equilibrium stage, this equilibrium stage can be maintained at which the decomposition, the rate at which PCl5 converts into PCl3 and Cl2 becomes equal to at which the rate at which PCl3 and Cl2 combine to form PCl5. Means rate of this decomposition, that's forward reaction. This is forward reaction. Forward reaction means conversion of PCl5 into PCl3 and Cl2, and this is backward reaction. Backward reaction means combination of PCl3 and PCl2 to give PCl5. This forward reaction and backward reaction, its rate becomes equal. Means the speed with which forward reaction takes place is equal to the speed with which backward reaction takes place. Hence we can write at equilibrium what happens? Rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. Rate of backward reaction. Rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction at equilibrium state. If we plot a graph, from graph, it's important to plot a graph over here because question is asked from the graph. If we plot a graph between rate, this is rate. Rate means speed. We have nothing to do with concentration over here. If we plot a graph between rate and time, now see what happens. We consider a reaction. A gives products. First, conversion of A into B. A gives B. Conversion of A into B takes place. Means concentration of A is getting decreased. This is the concentration of A. Say it's 1 molar. With the passage of the time, concentration of A starts decreasing. It starts decreasing. Concentration of A starts decreasing. This is concentration of A which decreases. Concentration of A starts decreasing, and with the passage of time, concentration of B is formed. Means rate of decrease in concentration of A and rate of increase in concentration of B. B begins to form. This is concentration of A. Rate of A is decreasing. Its rate is decreasing. Why? Because it gets converted into it moves in the forward direction. It gets converted into product B. And what is B? Concentration of B starts increasing. That's rate of formation of B increases. A stage is reached at which the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. Then this stage is called equilibrium stage. This is forward reaction. This is rate of forward reaction Fr, and this is rate of backward reaction. This is the state at which rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. This stage is called equilibrium stage. Now, if we plot a graph between rate and time, then an equilibrium stage is reached at which the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. Rate becomes equal, not concentration. It is rate which becomes equal, not concentration. Now we'll see what happens to the concentration. Remember this plot. This is very important. You will be given 4 plots and you will be asked a question like this. Question from characteristic 3. Which of the following represent this rate? Which of the following represent this equilibrium stage? Rate versus time. Now one more. Rate versus time. Now one more. Rate versus time. Now tell me. This is rate. Rate goes on decreasing. Rate of product goes on increasing. And this is the stage where the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction and it remains equal. And this is the stage where the rates become equal. This point is equilibrium, but it is not maintained in the reaction. Therefore, this is correct option. And here rate of forward and backward reaction do not rate of forward and backward reaction are not same, are not equal at any instant of time. Rate of forward and backward reaction are equal at all instants of time after this stage, after equilibrium stage. Rate of forward and backward reaction become equal at a particular instant of time. After that, equilibrium gets disturbed, means equilibrium cannot be maintained over here. In this case, rate of forward and backward reaction do not become equal at any stage of reaction. Now, number 4th characteristic is that's concentration characteristic. At equilibrium, what happens? See, if I consider a reaction, let me consider a reaction like this. PCl5 or calcium carbonate gets converted into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, or PCl5 gets converted into PCl3 and Cl2. Now see, what happens to this reaction when it starts? At time t is equal to 0, there is concentration of calcium carbonate. Let its concentration is 1 molar. And concentration of calcium oxide is 0 at time t is equal to 0, means no reaction has taken place. Now once I start the reaction, means time starts passing. After time t is equal to t seconds, certain amount of this gets decomposed. That the amount of this gets decomposed gets changed into product as Bx. Then the concentration of calcium carbonate after time t will remain 1 minus x, and its concentration will be x. Its concentration will be x. Now see what happens. Or let me quote it like this. After time t is equal to t seconds, let 0.2 moles of this decompose. 0.2. If 0.2 moles decompose, 0.2 of this will be formed and 0.2 of this will be formed. This is after t is equal to 3 seconds. After t is equal to 3 seconds, 0.2 moles of calcium carbonate decompose. Therefore, 0.2 moles of these are formed. How many moles will remain over here? It was 1 mole originally, 0.2 is decomposed, it will remain 0.8. This is 0.2, this is 0.2. Now see, after time t is equal to 5 seconds or 7 seconds or 10 seconds, let 0.3 moles of this decompose. How much it will remain? 1 minus 0.3, that is 0.7. And how much of this will be formed? 0.3, 0.3. Let after time t is equal to 10 seconds, let 0.8 moles of this decompose. 0.8 is formed of this, 0.8 is formed of this. These are 0.2 moles. Now see, first at time t is equal to 0, there is nothing concentration of this, but once the reaction starts, concentration of this reactant, it starts decreasing. Now the concentration starts decreasing and concentration of product starts increasing. Once product begins to be formed, they can combine back, they will form reactants. Now they can combine back at any concentration, means equilibrium can be maintained at any concentration. A little amount of product can result in the formation of equilibrium with the reactant. A little concentration, it is not necessary that at equilibrium stage the concentration of reactants and products are equal. Their rate should be equal, but it is not necessary their concentrations are equal. Their concentrations may be different or they may be equal. For example, after time 7 seconds, 0.5 mole is decomposed, it remains 0.5, it's formed 0.5, it's formed 0.5. These are all equilibrium stages. This is an equilibrium stage after time t is equal to 3 seconds. This is an equilibrium stage after time t is equal to this seconds. Now see, it is not necessary that at equilibrium the concentration of reactants and product should remain same. It is not necessary, they may be different. Now therefore what's important? Fourth characteristic tells us that at equilibrium the concentration of reactants and products may or may not be equal. At equilibrium, this is most important characteristic. At equilibrium, the concentration of reactants and products, the concentration of reactants and products may necessarily may or may not be equal. May or may not be equal. May or may not be equal, but the rate should be equal. The difference is only the rate should be equal, but the concentration is not necessary to be equal. Therefore, if we plot a graph for the reaction, this is a reaction A gives B of concentration versus time. Concentration versus time. This is concentration, this is time. Now what happens to concentration of A when the reaction proceeds? Concentration of A decreases and that of B increases. If we have 1 mole of A, concentration of it decreases and concentration of B increases. This is one state. This is one graph we can obtain. Now in the second graph, let us consider it like this. We have concentration of A and concentration of B. Concentration of A increases and concentration of B decreases. And we have one more graph like this. This is concentration, this is time. Concentration of A decreases and concentration of B increases. Now see, how can I get this experiment? I can make experimental data of this. See, I will take experiment of this equation A gives B. Let at time t is equal to 0, concentration of A is 1 molar. Concentration of A is 1 molar, its concentration is 0. Let at time t is equal to, after a certain time, t is equal to, for example, 25 seconds. After time t is equal to 25 seconds, let the concentration of A at decompose, that is 25%. That means 1 minus 25%, that is 0.75%. And product of B is formed 25%. Let after a time, I will make new graphs over here. I will make graphs from this equation. Let after time t is equal to how many? 50 seconds. Let decomposition of this is 1 minus 50%. A remains 50%. B is formed 50%. Let at time t is equal to 75 seconds. What remains over here? 1 minus 75%, that is 25%, and B will be formed 75%. Let us plot a graph between concentration, what happens to the concentration, and what happens to the equilibrium stage. Equilibrium stage is obtained over here when we have concentration of A 0.575 and concentration of B 25. Concentration of A 50% and B 50%. Now this is our experiment 1, this is experiment 2, this is experiment 3. Now let us take experiment number 1. Let us take this. This is the concentration of A. Concentration of A is initially 1 molar, and this is the concentration of B. Concentration of B initially is 0 because B has not been formed initially. Now what happens? Concentration of A decreases. At time t is equal to, this is time, this is concentration. At time t is equal to 25 seconds, let this is 25 seconds, this is 50 seconds, and this is 75 seconds. At time t is equal to 25 seconds, what happens? A starts decreasing. How much of A decreases? Let this is concentration 1, this is concentration 2, this is concentration 3. Let this is the concentration 0.25, this is concentration 0.50, 0.75. Now see what happens. At time t is equal to 0, concentration of A starts decreasing. How much it decreases? It decreases to 0.75. Concentration of A decreases to 0.75. This is concentration of A which is decreasing. It decreases to 0.75. This is 0.75. And at the same time, concentration of B increases to 0.25. This is concentration of B. This is concentration of A which decreases to 0.75 at time t is equal to 25. And concentration of B increases to 0.25. This is the stage at which equilibrium is attained. This is equilibrium stage. Therefore, at this stage, the concentration of reactant and concentration of B product, it is not same. That's why I mentioned over here that concentration may necessarily be not the same at equilibrium stage. Now let us plot a second graph. In the second graph, this is concentration and this is time. Now in the concentration, we have 25% and this is 50% and this is 75%. This is 0.25, 0.50 and 0.75. Now what happens? A gets changed into B and B gets converted into A. The concentration of A decreases in experiment number 2 to 50%. Means this is 1 molar and this is 0.75, this is 0.25. This is 0.2, 0.50. Concentration of A decreases to 0.50 at time t is equal to 50. And concentration of B increases to 0.50 at t is equal to 50. This is equilibrium stage. At this equilibrium stage, concentration of reactant becomes equal to the product. Therefore, concentration of reactant may or may not be equal to the concentration of product at equilibrium stage. Concentration of reactants and products may or may not be equal at what? At equilibrium stage. Now let us take third graph. From the third graph, we can show it like this. Now this is our 0.25 and this is 0.50 and this is 0.75 and this is our 1 molar. Now this is concentration. Over here we have time. Time 25 seconds, time 50 seconds, time 75 seconds. Now concentration of A decreases in the third experiment to 25%. Concentration of A decreases. It decreases. Concentration of A decreases to how much percent? Concentration of A decreases to 25%. This is 25%. Concentration of A decreases to 25% and B increases to 75%. Concentration of B, it increases to 75%. This is 75%. See, this is the stage of equilibrium. At equilibrium state, concentration concentration of reactants and products remain the same for a little amount of time. This is characteristic number 4 of chemical equilibrium. Now the last and most important and very important characteristic is our chemical equilibrium is dynamic in nature. Now what do we mean by dynamic? I think I have discussed it. Now fifth, chemical equilibrium is dynamic in nature. Dynamic in nature means reaction do take place but it does not seem to happen. Reaction do take place but it does not seem to happen. In the last lecture I have carried out an experiment. I have taken a beaker. In that beaker I have filled it with a certain volume of water. Now in that beaker I maintained the tap over here. From this tap water was coming and I pinch a hole over here, water was going out. Water level in the beaker does not change. Rate of forward and rate of backward reaction do take place but it does not seem to happen. This is called dynamic nature. Things do happen but they seem as if they are not happening. That's called dynamic nature. Chemical equilibrium is dynamic in nature. This was very important topic. I discussed over here characteristics of chemical equilibrium. Questions are asked like I have framed our questions based upon the graph and based upon concepts. Now thanks for watching this lecture. In the next lecture we will discuss law of chemical equilibrium and law of mass action. Thank you.